7:07, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Welcome on in to the program. I'm so glad to have Randy Sutton here in studio. And you're in Nashville. You're out of Las Vegas. So just to set the table for who you are, everybody knows the TV show Cops. And you remain the most featured police officer on Cops.
Yeah, I was on a number of seasons, including, I'm going to date myself now, the first season, 1989 was when I was first featured on that show, and I was featured numerous times afterwards, including fairly recently, they did a special, and they brought some of us old guys back to...
No, they did not. Yeah. Oh, that had to be so cool.
It was. In fact, what they did was they found somebody that I had arrested and who had changed their life. And this guy came onto the show and said, if it weren't for, the police and Randy Sutton, I would have died. I would have fallen, to the drugs that I was doing.
Does that make, and I'm going to go off into a tangent, but does that make all of the crap you got as a police officer worth it when you've got that? I don't know. Is that a rare individual that says, thank you for arresting me because my life was out of control?
It actually happens a lot more often than you would think because, it was what they thought was the worst day of their life, and it actually changed their life. But there's a whole, the police job is still the most noble profession that I know of.
Absolutely.
And you can touch so many people's lives. Right now, just recently, I had lunch with a little girl. Well, she was a little girl when I saved her life when she was a month old. Now she's 28 years old, and her life is fantastic. And she was shot in the face in a drive-by shooting, and I was able to save her life when she was 1 month old. So it's things like that carry with you, and you understand the gravity of the police job because you can literally change lives.
And you are here, and I'm gonna get to this, but I want to let people know Randy Sutton is here for an event, Never Forgotten, Never Alone, a night for the Wounded Blue, and so you lead this organization that is you are here for police officers that have been injured in duty.
Injured and disabled in the line of duty, right? The Wounded Blue is the National Assistance and Support Organization for injured and disabled officers, and we are incredibly excited about being here in Nashville at this amazing country music event.
These names, Darryl Worley, everybody knows I love Darryl Worley, one of my favorite country artists. I got to interview him a couple of years ago. It was amazing. You've got Vince Gill, Buddy Jewell. You've just got some incredible names here. And clearly you've tapped into the greatness that is Nashville. And tickets are still available. It is tomorrow night. Talk a little bit about the event.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. It's at the Nashville Palace, which is a very cool venue.
Oh, we had an event at the Nashville Palace a while ago. It's a great venue.
It is. It's fantastic. And some of the other names, Mandy Barnett, Maggie Baugh, John Berry, Chad Brock, Sean Parr, and Megan Alexander are going to be hosting it. And it is tomorrow night. The doors open at 5:30. And the tickets are $45 at the door, or $40 if you order them today. Mm-hmm. And you can either go to thewoundedblue.org to do that, or you can go to thefamousnashvillepalace.com and get your tickets. But don't wait, because you can't. Where are you going to see Vince Gill, Darryl Worley, Mark Wills for $40 and be able to support an incredible cause?
Well, and if this is a conservative audience, you're from Las Vegas, but this is a very conservative audience, and this is the right place to come for support with the police. We talk about law enforcement a lot on this show. I want to go back to Cops real quick. Mm-hmm. So when you were in that first season, you were the most featured officer. Can you run through how that actually works? Like when Cops started, it was like a huge thing. Yeah. It was like a phenomenon. And did you realize at the time how incredibly, number one, how popular it would be, but also controversial?
No, I didn't. When they first came to Las Vegas Metro Police, I was a patrol officer at the time, and what they did, the way they chose somebody, they would always work swing shift because that's the action shift, and they would go to a sergeant and they say, "Who's the guy that's going to get it in the I'm going to be polite. That's going to get in the stuff.
Yeah.
Where are we going to get? Where's that guy?
They need some action.
That's right. So I was one of those officers chosen, and they got some great stories. And so as a result of getting a whole bunch of great stories during the first season, when they came back 5 or 6 years later, I was a sergeant, and they did it again. Now, a lot of people think that is scripted. It is not. They throw a cameraman and a sound man in your police car, and they just go wherever you go, and they see it all. In fact, one of the camera people was actually shot and killed during the filming of one of the shows.
No kidding.
Yeah, in fact, we have supported cops, and they're a huge supporter of the Wounded Blue.
Sure.
So they've been a huge supporter of us since the beginning, and so that relationship continues. But there is nothing scripted about that. They whatever happens. They film it. One time they actually had to jump in because I was in a real knockdown, drag-out fight, which could have wound up in a very bad situation.
So you say the
camera crew. The camera
no
crew.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. And when they approached you about that, I'm just curious. When they approached you about that, were you hesitant to participate in this? I'm assuming you had a choice whether or not you wanted cameras following you while you're on patrol.
No, I didn't, and I'll tell you why. Because I recognized right then, I had already been a cop for 10 years before I went to Las Vegas. I was a cop in Princeton, New Jersey. And then I was bored to death because it was a small town. And I wanted action, so I changed over and went to Vegas.
Okay.
Where I wasn't bored, I can assure you.
Yes.
And what I did recognize is that there has always been a confusion about what the police job really does. And so I recognized the power of what the cops show could do for law enforcement. In fact, it wound up being our best recruiting tool. I wound up having people work for me that saw me on Cops and joined the Las Vegas Police Department because of it.
No kidding.
Absolutely.
Wow. It is a shame how the police are treated these days. I think back when you first started as a police officer in what year?
Well, I'm really going back now. 1976 is when I first became a cop
1970.
in New
I
Jersey.
want to drink what you're drinking because, I mean, I'm not going to say, I don't know how to say this. You don't look that old.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Only my hairdresser knows for sure.
All right, so we got to take a quick break of traffic, and we'll return. Randy Sutton joining us here in studio. Do you ever watch the old Cops that feature you in the first couple of seasons?
Believe it or not, I have never seen my own shows.
What? That is crazy. You've never.
I've seen one or two because I use I'm a national speaker on law enforcement topics.
Oh, you've been on Fox News. You've been on Newsmax. I mean, you've been everywhere.
You ever see the movie Casino?
Yes.
I was in that too.
Were you really?
I played a cop named Randy.
Imagine that.
I know.
So Casino was
Robert De Niro and Sharon Stone.
Robert De Niro, Sharon Stone as well. Did you get to? Were you in a scene? I
had a very good scene with him.
Did you really?
Yeah. In fact, we did an ad lib scene. Robert De Niro and I. It was pretty cool.
Okay. I wish I could play that. Were you nervous? Like, I'm going to go toe to toe with Robert De Niro.
I actually was not. And this is before he went crazy. He was actually a gentleman.
No kidding.
Yeah, and Sharon Stone was not a gentleman, but that's another story. Yes. But yeah, that was cool. And then I did another movie called Fools Rush In with Matthew Perry and Salma Hayek.
Yep, that's the one nobody saw.
That is one nobody saw.
Yes,
but I had a great part. My part was being a police officer delivering Salma Hayek's baby on the bridge at Hoover Dam, so I can legitimately say I was.
Oh wow!
I better not say it.
No, so Vince Gill is going to be at this event tomorrow night. This is a great event. Talk about number one. We're talking about when you started as an officer back in 1976. Fast forward to 2025. We all on this radio station absolutely support the police, but why do you think that there's been such a disrespecting of police from certain segments of our society?
Okay, so there's a book sitting in front of you right now called Rescuing 911, The Fight for America's Safety.
Written by some guy named Lieutenant Randy Sutton.
That's right. And this is actually my fifth book. This is a very important work because it really describes just the question that you just asked me.
Yep.
Is there? It's a very nuanced question, but really what it comes down to is some of the greatest lies that have ever been perpetuated on the American public were foisted upon them, like the great lie of Ferguson, hands up, don't shoot.
I kid you not. So when Randy gave me the book, I opened it up, and the first thing I opened to was page 22, the great lie of Ferguson, hands up, don't shoot, complete and utter BS. But
correct.
The officer's career was destroyed.
He's still in hiding.
Yeah, he's still in hiding. I'm ashamed to say I don't remember his name. I bet you remember his name.
Yeah, I'm not even going to talk about his name because he wants to stay completely anonymous now.
Yes,
but
that's true.
but here's how the weird situation, the way that our lives have kind of coalesced. The Wounded Blue. Just a month ago, I was visiting a Ferguson police officer who was severely injured in the line of duty. On the anniversary of Michael Brown's death, there was a protest. He was one of the officers at the protest and was attacked. And when he was attacked, he suffered a traumatic brain injury, which has destroyed his life. And the Wounded Blue, I visited him in his rehab facility where they are trying to bring him back to a sense of normalcy. And the Wounded Blue, we have actually given his family $5,000 a month for a year to help them deal with this situation. And we gave him the Order of the Blue Heart Award, which is the Purple Heart for the police. This just happened. So the history of policing, still continues today, and the ramifications of the great lie of Ferguson continue to this day. Because of that, this officer, who's got 2 children, was severely injured in the line of duty because of that great lie.
So there are officers, and of course, obviously, I'm going to Captain Obvious moment there. But I want to define what the Wounded Blue does. So an officer gets injured, line of duty, and then you help to supplement their income for how long? The rest of their lives? How does that work?
We're not generally a funding resource. What we're a peer support group. Every one of the people in my organization is a police officer or was a police officer who has been injured in the line of duty. We have officers who've been shot, stabbed, beaten, run over. I have officers who've been blinded, officers who are in wheelchairs, and yet they continue to serve. They are the heroes of the Wounded Blue, because even though they have been so severely injured, they still give back. Yeah. And the way they do that is they provide peer support for other officers who have been injured, because once you get severely injured in the line of duty, either physically or emotionally and psychologically, you don't know what the future is going to bring. And we help them navigate that horrendous situation.
Well, so if you have a police officer that is injured in the line of duty, a number of things are going on. Number one, you've got the psychological trauma.
Correct.
You've got the physical trauma.
Yes.
And you've got the concern with, how am I going to support my family?
100%. And you would be absolutely shocked at the way many police agencies and cities treat their officers once they become injured. I can tell you horror stories. Right now, we're dealing with an officer who was shot with an AR-15. She is hit in the hip, and the round bounced into her abdomen and just did terrible damage to her. She can't go back to work, right? Because she was so severely injured. She just told me yesterday she's getting terminated from the department with no pension because she can't go back to work full duty. Well, of course she can't go back to work full duty. She was shot, and yet they are going to throw her away.
How can the police departments justify that?
This is shocking. This is the greatest unknown secret of law enforcement, and that is, depending on where you are, if you're in New York City and you get severely injured in the line of duty, you're going to be okay. They're going to give you a good pension. You're going to get medical. But if you are in, say, Oklahoma, we have an officer who was shot in the head in Oklahoma. I have this on video. Shot in the head by cartel gunmen. He's severely injured. This is during a pursuit. Then after he got hit with an AR-15 round in the forehead, he, of course, went unconscious, and then he crashed in a tree. He had a wife, 3 children. They didn't pay his medical bills for a year and a half. He lost his house. He lost his car. And it wasn't until a news station did an expose on it that suddenly they paid his bills. But at the end of the day, they threw him away. They didn't even give him the proper medical treatment. And we fight this every single day. This is what the Wounded Blue does.
That is horrifying. We criticize the left for disrespecting police, but oh my Lord. I mean, you've got to call out the police agencies who don't protect or take care of their own after they get injured in the line of duty.
And you know what? That makes me a very unpopular person sometimes.
I bet it does. But if you expose it, then perhaps they'll think twice about, as you say, throwing away their officers that are injured trying to protect the people.
It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking what we see. And that's why this event is so important.
Yeah.
Because these country artists, by the way, who have supported the Wounded Blue for years in different ways, this is where the people and the police have to come together.
Yeah.
And these country artists that are all volunteering their time for this event, this is where we need the people to come and say, you know what, we're going to support law enforcement. I'm going to come to this concert. I'm going to see some of my favorite country stars, and then we're going to donate to the Wounded Blue. We're actually kicking off what we're calling our 9/11 campaign. We're asking people across America to donate $9.11 a month.
Okay.
All right. That's not even a coffee and a donut. And of course, I'm using that that for a particular reason.
Yes.
But $9.11 a month to the Wounded Blue. And we get enough people to do that. We can help so many more people because we are only limited by the resources that we have.
Yeah.
And that's where, unfortunately, and by the way, everybody in my organization is a volunteer except we have one paid employee. I don't take a salary. I live on my pension. Okay. And by the way, what I do now is more important than anything I've ever done. And I was disabled in the line of duty. I had a stroke in my police car right on the Las Vegas Boulevard, and my own department threw me away.
Wow.
They just said, we're not paying your medical bills and we're not giving you your benefits.
And they
after
wonder
24 years.
And they wonder, I know why we have shortages of police officers, but certainly this doesn't help.
It doesn't help. And listen, I was a cop for 34 years when this happened, and I never thought this could possibly actually take place. And yet, so this is one of the things that is we are so passionate about helping our brothers and sisters. Any officers who are listening to this right now, if you're struggling because of a physical injury or because of post-traumatic stress, reach out to us at thewoundedblue.org. That's who we are. That's where we never forgotten, never alone is a meaningful phrase for us.
Oh, absolutely. And so the event is tomorrow night. Never forgotten, never alone. A night for the Wounded Blue. Our guest is Randy Sutton. And again, you've got some of the greatest names in country music. Vince Gill, obviously, Daryl Worley. You've got Mark Wills, and you've got Buddy Jewell, and a whole bunch of folks. And hosted by my old buddy Sean Parr.
Yeah.
So, who's great. I love Sean Parr as well. So, good luck. TheWoundedBlue.org is the website. People can get tickets there. It is tomorrow night at the Nashville Palace.
And doors open at 5:30. We're going to have some great opening acts. And by the way, there's going to be a surprise or two that we weren't allowed to put their names, but they're going to be showing up too. So there's going to be some surprises that show up. And also, we're going to be honoring 3 officers who have been severely injured in the line of duty, and two Louisville officers and a Chattanooga officer.
Okay. This is going to be a great event.
It's going to be a great event. I hope you're going to be there.
I'm going to try. TheWoundedBlue.org is the website, TheWoundedBlue.org. And will you check in with me tomorrow and let me know how ticket sales are going?
I sure will.
And we can, we can see if we can drive the ticket sales because this is such a great event. Randy, thank you very much for joining us here on Nashville's Morning News, and I hope to talk to you again soon.